Hello and welcome to Derby County Women in Focus. On this month's episode, we'll talk to some new arrivals and discuss some recent departures with manager Sam Griffiths. We'll also talk to her about the opening month of 2024. The date for everyone's diary coming into the new year was the FA Cup fourth round meeting with Leicester City. Let RamsTV take you behind the scenes. A great effort and a really good cup run for the Ewes ended by Leicester then. 2024 actually got off to something of a false start, with the game against Liverpool Feds abandoned late on due to a serious injury to Megan Tinsley. But the Ewes have responded to those setbacks really well, winning their next two, including victory at Sutton Coldfield that takes them into the National League Plate semi-finals. So Derby finding some momentum again very quickly. Now in the men's game, the January transfer window has just closed. In the women's game, at this level, things are a little bit different. But with some recent changes to the Derby squad, we thought what better time to sit down for a bit of an explainer with Derby manager Sam Griffiths.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like WSL and Championship have different rules to us. They do have sort of transfer windows and things like that. Tier 3 and down, it's almost an open door policy. Anybody can come in for any player at kind of any point unless they're actually on a fixed contract. So yeah, clubs put 7 days in, can approach the player, and then it's down to the player as to whether they want to, I suppose, stay or go.
I imagine for you that must mean you are constantly trying to keep tabs on your own players, but also what else may be out there for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of them that obviously seeing the departures of the people with the players that we have, it's never easy. I know that players want to play. Like nobody wants to come and sit on a bench. So I think as soon as clubs start to get a feel for players that aren't getting minutes, that probably think that they could do them a job for 90 minutes every week. That's when clubs start approaching players.
And again, does that make the squad even more difficult to manage from your perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably historically we've probably had a lot of Derby girls. So I think when we've looked at our benches in the past, we've probably had a lot of players that have been at the club years that, I'm not saying are happy to sit on the bench. I don't believe anyone's ever happy to sit on the bench, but they're here for the club. Whereas we've probably seen a bit of a turnover over the last couple of seasons where we've had to try and push on again. signing a lot of new players from different teams, and if they come in and probably aren't happy with the game time they're getting, they're probably not going to stay around as long as your old faithfuls, if you like, in terms of Derby players.
I know you keep conversations private, and we appreciate that. But how hard will you try and convince a player, especially if their reasoning for wanting to leave is they've not been playing as much as they would like? How much will you convince them to try and stay?
It's really hard. It's really hard. I think that the challenge is it's quite easy for a manager to try and convince a player to stay. And I think they've always got the comeback, well, if you value me that much, I should be playing. I've been a player. I've been there, done it. I've had the same conversations with managers, so I get that. I think for me, like, I have to go back to my own personal values, and I think the player has to come first, like, at the centre of everything. They need to be happy. So if it's going to make them happy by going and playing, which I totally get, that's why we'd hope that every player plays football, is because they want to play for nothing else, that is something that I will always support. I think we try and make it known that we don't want to lose them. It's not something, but it's very hard, like I say, to sit there and put on a real heart-wrenching story of wanting to keep them when probably you go, well, I'd have been playing more if you valued me that much. So yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice to lose players. But at the end of the day, I get why players move on, because they want to play minutes.
Do you leave the door open for them to return at some stage?
Yeah, I think we always had that conversation. I think there's always that conversation in terms of if a player moves on and is not enjoying it or not quite getting what they wanted from it. I think we're quite an open club in terms of if players want to pick the phone up to come back, then that's something, yeah, that we'll never shut the door on.
And on the positive side, you've added a few new faces as well. What are they going to bring to the group?
A lot, I think. I hope. Some real positives. So we've signed Dulcie. She's come on a dual reg from Man City. Again, that's another system that works a little bit different from loans and signings and everything else. But yeah, she's come on a dual reg from Man City, so she'll stay involved with Man City, but will train with us and play with us on a Sunday. Really exciting. Youngster winger, left footer, which is really nice, because just to get that balance back a bit after obviously losing Meg. So really excited to see her play. Shez, who's stepped up from the devs, who's been on the verge for a while now, and there's been a lot of clubs after her. But again, been at the club like a lot of years, wanted to stay at Derby, and probably just felt this was a really good opportunity to go. She's been dipping in and out for a while now, but we've signed her with the first team now permanently till the end of the season, and yeah, was excellent in the game that's just gone. And H that's come in, she's fit in like an absolute dream. Her intensity, the way she plays, has been brilliant. So again, another one that we're looking forward to seeing, and very versatile, which is great.
On Isabel Sheridan in particular, is there something special about someone that's been in the system?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't think you can get away from the fact that the kids that come through the system, it's nice to see. It's nice to see that they see a pathway. I think sometimes it's quite easy to overlook them when you think, oh, they're just our own, there's probably, better out there, and I think it's not till you sit down and you really reflect and you go, do you know what, she's just as good as some of the players that we've been looking at over the past couple of months, and she's got like her opportunity now and her time to shine, if you like.
You've had a really good run in the FA Cup. You're still going in the plate semi-final, I think, coming up in the next couple of weeks, and at the weekend you'll reach the halfway mark of the league campaign. How do you feel about where you are at the midway point, effectively? Good,
like really good. I think the squad have done amazing. To say that if you look at Tier 3 now, I'd argue with anyone, it's almost become the new Championship. I think the leagues have all gone again. The WSL have gone to the next level. Championship's gone to the next level. Tier 3 now, you're seeing more probably full-time managers. You're seeing clubs that are now full-time, clubs that are on hybrid models. So for us to still be operating kind of where we are, and I'd like to say still like competing. I don't think there's been a game that we've gone into that we've not believed that we can win this season. So I think if we win Sunday, we go into fourth potentially, depending on what happens with some of the other teams. So to be up and around the top, there's probably a top 5 teams, which the way that I look at the league now, to be up and around that is a credit to the players.
Derby boss Sam Griffiths there. Now, in terms of the league table, some teams have already reached the halfway point. Derby will get there at the weekend. It looks like they're in a race for 4th place now, with Newcastle, Burnley and Nottingham Forest fighting for the title. Liverpool Feds definitely in the Ewes sights. Now, we've heard about the new signings. Now it's time to meet them.
I love it, honestly. Like, it's exactly the level I wanted to be playing at, and it's just really good fun. Like, all the girls are really lovely. Training's a really high standard. Yeah,
Tell me about your footballing journey to this point.
I started off with boys teams, and then I trialled for my county team, which turned into Southampton. And so I've been playing for reserve football up until the under-20s, and then I played for the second team for Southampton ladies until about a year ago, and I've joined University of Nottingham, and now, yeah, signed for Derby, which is cool.
I was going to say, long way from home, but
Yeah.
university is what's brought you to this part of the world.
Yeah.
What's the manager said to you about the role that she wants you to play in the team?
I think right now, because obviously they've lost both their left back and right back, I think everything's sort of a bit up in the air. So I think she wants me to be as versatile as possible. I've been playing left back, which I've been really enjoying. Anywhere I can get minutes is great with me. Yeah, so I think anywhere she wants me is.
What sort of player are you?
I work hard, and I prefer to sort of keep the ball on the floor. I enjoy sort of taking players on. Yeah, so I really enjoy the centre mid position, but left back is also great.
Any footballing idols, heroes in particular?
Ooh, I think Kevin De Bruyne, his vision with his passing is just incredible. To have that vision in a game is what I aspire for. But I think Lucy Bronze is quite a go-to for the Lionesses. I think she's just such a great player, and she's just so confident as well.
And lastly from me, maybe you aren't the sort to do it, but have you got any targets for the rest of the season?
My target is just to sort of situate myself into the starting 11. I really want to play centre mid. Anywhere she wants me is fine with me. But yeah, I really want to get into that starting 11 and just become a part of Derby, really.
When did you first find out that this move might be on the cards for you?
About 3 weeks ago. Sam the manager put 7 days in for me, so.
What's the sort of process? Do you get much of a say in whether you come?
Yeah, obviously it was down to me whether I wanted to come down or not, but I wanted a new challenge, so.
Tell me about your football journey to this point. Take us right back to the start.
Well, I started off quite late, maybe 12, 13. I started playing, it wasn't very early. I just joined a local team. I was there till 17, so it's still new to the the academy. And then I went to City's academy, so a year ago. I've been there first season. This is my second season there.
In terms of the sort of player you are, what are you bringing to the side? What are you like?
Quite energetic, I'd say. Whether it's off the bench or starting, I like to give 100% always. I'm quite a forward player as well, so a lot of attacking.
And again, I know it's early and you've only just got in the building, but any targets that you'll set for the rest of the season?
No, not really, just to get as much game time as possible, I guess. Hopefully a few goals, but game time's my biggest one.
It's not quite a welcome to Derby for you, is it, really? How special have the last couple of weeks been for you, being promoted to the senior team?
Yeah, they've been really good. Obviously, I got my first senior goal against Stourbridge, not last week, but the week before. So that was a really good moment. I've been playing with Derby for quite a while now, so obviously moving up to the first team was really special for me. So yeah.
Yeah, take us back as far as you can remember, really. How far back does the association with Derby go?
Probably to when I was 7. I think I started playing in a lads team from as little as I could, and then I moved into the RTC, and I think this is my 11th season for Derby now. So yeah, quite a while moving through the RTC. So yeah.
Are there lots of familiar faces for you around then?
Yeah, I've been watching Hannah Ward, Amy Sims for quite a while now. When they play against Forest, I'd go and watch at Pride Park. So yeah, quite a lot of familiar faces for me.
You know, you're making me feel old saying that.
Yeah, I know.
Have you sort of spoken to them about the fact you've watched them play in these sort of big games?
Not really, actually, but they have obviously been role models for me growing up, because obviously watching them, I've always wanted to be them and be in that team. So yeah.
You mentioned the first senior goal already. You came on against Leicester as well in the FA Cup, I think, to That must have been an amazing start to the professional career.
Yeah, that's been really good for me. Obviously, playing against the WSL team is quite a big achievement. And getting my first senior goal, that's just, yeah, really great.
What's the manager said about the role she sees you playing?
It's just more of like a forward role, that she wants me to like have a high press and hold the ball up, play with the players around me, and yeah.
Any targets for the season?
Game time. I want to get as much game time as I can. It'd be nice to get a couple more goals as well.
Good to hear from the new girls. Plenty of league action coming up for them and the rest of the squad, including trips to West Brom and the leaders Newcastle this month. February will end with that National League Plate semi-final away at Exeter. That's all from this edition of Derby County Women in Focus. As always, you'll get more at the website dcfc.co.uk. That's where tickets are available too. Until next time, goodbye.